All right. I'm Austin. That's Khalil. I've noticed I haven't introduced us in a while, in like 3, 4 videos. And also, I should probably say at the beginning, like the whole like and subscribe, the YouTuber jargon for our visual watchers. It's been nice having you. It's been nice seeing some rise in some viewership. Appreciate y'all. Media
Love
seems to
y'all.
be our big ones. Today we're going to be talking about the world of gaming. I would say I was a gamer growing up, but now it's hit such a evolution of like who and what that entails. Like I don't have a PC.
Yeah.
I don't play in competitions. I don't buy every single indie title that drops. I play a lot of basic games. You know what I mean? Like I don't play
Yeah.
Overwatch. I haven't played Rivals yet even.
Rivals is fun. I will give it that. It is basically a carbon copy of Overwatch, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah, and so it's like I think it's like calling myself a gamer nowadays to a certain crowd, they would get defensive and be like, "Oh, well, how many Steam trophies do you have? What's your graphics card loadout? What's like blah 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 blah."
I'm gonna stop you right there at Steam trophies. What the hell is that?
It's the exact same thing. I mean, I'm a PlayStation trophy grinder. I have no fear in admitting that. I have a love that I have more trophies than any of my friends, including you, Khalil.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I like the trophies too. Um, I was thinking about it a few days ago, and like it might be fun to like actually go for some trophies
Right?
these days. So I don't know. I might be trying that.
So, sometimes it is fun to trophy hunt. The issue with PC is they can buy all those smaller games and just rack them up like crazy. I can't do that, unfortunately. And so that's why I don't call myself a gamer. It's like I'm just not like a PC person. I don't buy every indie title. I can't tell you my favorite devs. I can't tell you like. I mean, I've played a lot of games. I've played more than the average person, I think. But I also don't play as much as the people I would call a gamer.
I guess for myself, I typically just say, yeah, I like playing video games.
And that's how I'll say it is I like playing video games. I wouldn't call myself a gamer.
Yeah,
Um,
I totally get that.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing to do is like off the bat. Even before we get into the questions, I've never owned a PC for gaming. Khalil has one, but it's a little older. So I've never once owned an Xbox console. I don't think Khalil has either.
I have not. No.
Yeah, I've so here I can kind of very quickly. Here's the list so people know what I'm talking about. I owned a Sega, a Nintendo 64. I actually owned a Nintendo Virtual Boy, and I'm very upset that I sold it to a guy.
That's right.
So upsetting
That's
to
right.
this day. I'd be holding it right now, and that would have been my thumbnail if I still had mine. I've had PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had the PSP. I had all the Game Boys, including the original before the color. I had the original Game Boy Color, Advance, SP, and the first DS. I never had a DS Lite or a 3DS. Had the Wii, had the GameCube, which included the Pokemon Coliseum Dark, whatever, with Lugia on the cover. Shadow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That might about do.
I mean, yeah, I had Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, N64. I had a Sega as well. And then I had the GameCube, and a Nintendo DS. Had the Wii. I don't know. I don't think. Did you mention Wii?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I had a Wii U as well.
I didn't have a Wii U. Never had a
Uh,
Switch.
I have a Switch. I love the Switch. I own PlayStation 2 through 5. Never had a chance to get the PlayStation 1. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I've played the Dreamcast. Never owned one. I've played Xbox. Never owned one.
Yeah, I've played Xbox. Never owned one. Never will own one.
Right, exactly. And then I want a PC. I just can't afford them. So yeah, that's our consoles and frame of reference. Last thing before we jump into the real questions we have written down, I love arcade video games, and I don't just mean like going and playing like DDR, which is fun. Don't get me wrong. I actually like DDR, but behind me, I don't really feel like up and getting it. So maybe I'll zoom in. Right there is Time Crisis 4 for the
Oh,
PS3.
yeah.
I love playing Time Crisis at real arcades, all of them. I love playing the original Simpsons arcade game. I love pinball cabinets. I love Star Wars arcade games. Um, like there's not a lot of arcade games I dislike. I really like playing some of the old ones, like the original Mario and Donkey Kong or Doctor Mario,
Mm-hmm.
Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, all of like.
Yes, yes, yes,
I
yes.
love arcade games.
But yeah, no, I love arcade games too. Like they are so much fun. Just go in. I really like the racing ones,
Oh, absolutely,
and
especially the ones you can be
I'm
on a
and
jet
I'm
ski or a
not.
bike.
Yep, and I'm not like a racing game fan at all, but I love
Oh, they're
those.
fun as heck. We can kind of jump around, but we'll start in order of what do you
Let's
think
get
was
it.
the first video game you played? I've been thinking about this one all day, and I think like if I'm not including like the Leap Pad Junior, that it would probably legitimately be either Pac-Man or, and Pac-Man would have been like the cabinet, the arcade cabinet. But the first at-home video game I think I ever played, there's actually two answers here. I'm not sure if it was Command and Conquer first, which I wouldn't have
Hmm.
known what I was doing. I just know my dad owned it and he loved it, so I wanted to play it so bad. Or the one I know I for sure played, and I played it a lot, was Frogger for the PS1. And I played it an absolute
Oh, okay.
insane amount, dude. Like, I mean, just a ludicrous amounts. Um,
One of those real simple but really fun
yes, and
games.
so after, like, in a close second to Frogger and Command and Conquer would have been uh, a few of my N64 games. Now it'd be tough for me to say which one I played first because here, like, I have four games that I had for the N64, like that I can't even remember how I got them, but I grew up with owning them, which was Toy Story for the N64, the world's
Okay,
worst video
yeah.
game ever, which was the Superman N64 game.
Oh my God,
So bad
yes.
it's actually insane. Star Fox and Pokemon Stadium.
So, actually, when I was at work today, and you sent me a message like we're gonna do that, talk about this, I actually ended up thinking about this question without looking at what you
Yeah,
created
yeah.
in this document, and I was like, I got it. I know exactly what game the first game I played was. It was an Elmo game for N64,
That's
and
awesome.
I was like, I was a I was a very young child at this point, but I do remember playing this game, just like walking around collecting letters from the like the
Elmo's
alphabet.
Number Journey.
That's yeah, yeah, that's
This
it.
looks pretty lit.
I I played. I remember playing
Wow.
the hell out of that game. And then after that was probably Pac Man. Um, I had a family member who had that. I played that. I remember being god awful at it, of
Yeah, I
course.
did not. I remember watching my dad play
And
Pac Man, and he was so good at it, and I would just be like, "How do you not get eaten?"
yeah. And then I too played the Superman game.
It was so bad.
And I remember thinking to myself, "Oh my god, I am so stupid for not knowing what to
Yeah,
do."
but no, it was the game.
Not realizing not realizing there was nothing to do in the
So
game.
bad.
You were you were just flying
Yeah, if you
around.
don't know what we're talking about,
Oh man, that was so I played that, and then probably after that was like Pokemon Stadium, Mario 64.
yeah,
Um,
I played Delari. I forgot that I had that. Yep.
also played Mystical Ninja.
Really? So I don't think I
Had
played
no
that till much
idea.
later. I had
Yep, had no
GoldenEye
idea what I
growing
was
up, and I
doing
loved
in
it.
it.
Wasn't good at it, but I
I
loved
did
it.
not have that. Mario Kart was another one that I played
I didn't
on
have Mario Kart until
N64.
much later. I had it on the Game Boys. I never had it on like the sit down TV consoles.
Also had it for GameCube.
Yeah, I had it for like GameCube
Wii,
and
Wii,
Wii.
Wii one is the best one. That
Yeah.
so yeah, those are some of the first games I remember playing. The Elmo one though, that one really just hit hard for me,
Right.
nostalgia wise. So
So the next question is which game had the biggest impact on you as a kid or teenager? I think it's better to ask which one had an impact on you as a kid and which one had a big impact as a teenager. Stadium.
I played so much Pokemon, not just Pokemon Stadium, but I also played all of the ones for the Game
No,
Boy,
yeah, I
as,
had
as well as you did.
red, yellow, blue, and crystal.
Yeah, see, I think I had blue. I had blue and I had gold early
Mm.
on. Um, I wasn't able to get all the other ones, unfortunately. But I had one of my cousins would have the opposite game,
Yeah,
so we would
yeah.
trade.
Brandon and I did
So
that.
like that, Yep. So like that really impacted my childhood. You know, they were great. My childhood was big on Pokemon,
Yeah,
from the games to having a booklet.
I think I'd have to agree with that as much as like I was trying to think if there's anything that'd be above it, and like there's others that come close, but yeah, just because I had all three of the originals of Yellow, Red, and Blue, and then I had Crystal, and then I played Ruby, and then Emerald, and then
Mm-hmm.
I had Fire
Mm-hmm.
Red, Leaf Green. I had both Fire Red and Leaf Green. That was the
Yeah.
first time I ever gotten both. So
I had oh shoot, I had Sapphire and Emerald. Never got Ruby.
oh yeah, see no yeah no
And
I,
then I
I never
had
got all three, and I'm kind of thankful for that because I mean they are the same up to a certain point. Like you
yes.
said, Brandon and I. So
The
Brandon's my cousin. For those who don't know, him and I did the same thing. Where if we got the other, we would trade after beating them. So it's like I got to play them all, even if I didn't own them. But like,
As a teenager, it's a big split. Anything Dragon Ball Z or Naruto, there you go. There you go. You know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. Tony Hawk.
so yeah, that was gonna be one of mine.
So those three, as a teenager, had the biggest impact on me.
So yeah, I'm like
Um,
really, really struggling with this answer because my brain goes to like multiple things. And please finish your thought in just a second. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi would be my favorite one of them. And then I mean, Call of Duty. I don't care if it makes me basic. I mean, I played Modern Warfare 2 and 3 an ungodly amount. Then, I really loved Resistance: Fall of Man when that was a PlayStation exclusive. That was actually huge. I played a
mm,
crap ton of Sly Cooper and Crash Bandicoot, so like those types of games where I was
oh, okay.
huge on. So I think
I
I'd have to
forgot
like
about
narrow it down
Crash.
between like Dragon Ball Z, Budokai Tenkaichi, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Resistance: Fall of Man, probably 2 or 3, and Sly Cooper. I played those absolutely the most as a teenager. Like, oh my
I
god, no, that's not
remember.
true. I have one game that beats all
No.
of these. I'm sorry, Self. I mean, Tony Hawk Pro Skater and Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi are like A and B, but I played so much Ratchet and Clank, especially Up Your Arsenal, that it's insane.
Mm,
I played
see, I was
so much of it.
when it comes to Sly Cooper, I remember always wanting a Sly Cooper game and never being able to get one. Ratchet and Clank, another
Oh my
game series
god.
that I was never able to play as
I
a kid.
forgot how much time I
Um,
put in that. Oh.
but I put in a lot of time in Dragon Ball Z games, especially
Oh
Budokai
yes,
and
so
Budokai
did I.
Tenkaichi, as well as any Naruto game.
I didn't play the
Um,
Naruto games.
just so I played with my siblings and my cousins. Like we would stay up all night long playing these games. We're just like, all right, I lost. Hand off the controller. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
No. Yep.
It was just like this was our weekends and summers. I just remember like playing outside till it got dark, and then we would go in
Yep.
and just be playing either Dragon Ball Z or Naruto.
So I didn't play Dragon Ball
But
Z
then
with
the
my
other one,
family, but I did play a lot of
mm,
my dad, my mom, and I. My mom and I played each other in Tekken a lot. My dad and I played each other in Mortal Kombat a lot, and then Brandon and I and his two brothers we played Madden and MLB a lot. Those were my like family
ooh, okay.
games.
And then I just want to give a quick shout out, and I have the game here, and I'm going to show it, even though it's on our thumbnail. Pokemon Puzzle League. I played this one a hell of a lot too,
Yeah,
with my siblings and cousins as well.
Brandon and I played a lot of War of the Monsters. I think that's one of my favorite games of all time to play with like people at your house. I also say for the Sega when I was growing up, there was two games I played on repeat, which was Sonic
Mm.
Hedgehog 2 and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's like something of the stone. Oh yeah, the Hyperstone Heist. I played that on Sega Genesis like an insane amount. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised you didn't list Assassin's Creed during the teenage question.
Um, well, yeah, I guess I played that in my like later down the line
Because
when
I
I
played it a
was like
lot in middle school.
16, 17. See, I didn't get to play them. My mom wouldn't let me get anything rated M. I remember when I was 17, I had to like describe to her like, oh, how just,
That's
historically,
it is
you
historically
know,
accurate in some
it
parts.
yeah, and it's like, it kind of plays off the historical things that happen. It's historical fiction is what it is. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, and it was made, just trying to get her to like except the fact that I want to buy
That's so
Assassin's
funny.
Creed 3. That's the first one I played,
And then there
and it
was me who
remains
got
my
to play
favorite.
San Andreas as young as I wanted.
Yeah, that was not happening for me.
Yeah, my dad couldn't talk. He'd play it in the same house that I'd watch it. So he's like, "Well, you already watched it. You might as well just play it." Like it
That
wasn't
yeah,
like
okay,
right
that
away.
makes
Like
sense.
when not Miami, when like Call of Duty Vice City came out. Call of Duty, Grand
Call
Theft
of Duty
Auto.
Vice City.
when Grand Theft Auto Vice City came out, he didn't let me play that one. But when San Andreas had come out, I was of the age where he's like, you know what? At this point, like whatever, just you've seen me play them. You might as well just play it. I think we kind of answered the next question, which is, are there any games that influence your hobbies outside of gaming, art, storytelling, sport? Well, yeah, I mean, I love sports. I played the sports games. I like history. I played the Assassin's Creed games. We like Pokemon and Dragon
And
Ball Z outside of the
I was
game. So,
yeah, I was gonna say like martial arts for me.
yeah, I was
Man,
going to say
that's
you with that, and then, like, you still play Tekken. I still play Mortal Kombat, but I don't fight in real life. Like, I don't like cars, but I played a lot of the Need for Speed Most Wanted, Underground, and 2. I
Need
played
for
a
Speed
lot
was
of
fun.
those.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
Yep.
still to this day love those games. I'm not a car guy at all. That's how
Need for
good
Speed
those
Hot
games
Pursuit
are.
2.
It's
Not a
funny
big
because we
car
haven't
person.
listed any of my favorite games yet, and it's funny because I found them as I was later on. Okay, yeah, like this one. I think we should jump to this one where it asks, what are some of the games you didn't appreciate at first but grew to love over time? My answer isn't a specific game so much as the genre of RPGs. Now, I didn't understand things like Zelda, which I played growing up, was an RPG. I didn't understand Pokemon was an RPG. But when we talk about
Yes.
things like,
Yes.
I had my
Yes.
hands on some crazy cool games when I was younger, and I never realized how cool they were because it was too much effort. Like, I own many of the original Final Fantasies for PlayStation 1, and I didn't get how cool they were at the time, but now I love them. You know what I mean? Like, so I think the category of RPGs, because I also really loved games like, and this is an RPG, it's a puzzle platformer, but like Prince of Persia. I
Yeah.
freaking love Prince of Persia: Sand of Time, but I think RPGs is a category that when they got to a more choice-oriented RPG like Witcher or I didn't play I played the Fallout games in late middle school, early high school, and I didn't appreciate them yet. And then by the end of high school, Fallout New Vegas is my favorite game of all time, and I've played through it at least 7 times, if not more. Like, it genuinely, so I think I overlooked that idea of those immersive RPGs for a long time, and eventually grew to not only love them but be absolutely obsessed and put an insane amount of hours into Fallout 3, New Vegas 4, Skyrim, Oblivion, now Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasies, Persona 5 even. Like, so I love RPGs.
I I actually I do agree with that. This is the question that I was talking about
Okay.
earlier that I was like really trying to think about. So RPGs is a really good one. Because I definitely did not appreciate them when I was younger. Like Zelda. I remember having what was that? What was the one
Majora's Mask
for
or Ocarina of Time?
I did, and I just like I remember not being able to get into it. There was I can't recall all the like weird like the random RPGs that I got to play.
Wind Waker?
Yeah, I think
There's
so.
multiple for the GameCube then, because, like,
Okay, is there really cartoony
yeah, that's
one?
Wind Waker. Because I was going to say, I had
Okay.
one of these, but it did not look like the one you're describing. The one I played, I think, was Twilight Princess.
Okay, yeah, I do remember. I know that one. What else? Oh, I was gonna say platformers. Like,
Oh, I always loved them.
yeah, I played Mario. Yeah, I played Sonic, but I didn't really like. I just played them just to play them. I didn't really enjoy them.
Yeah, because
I would.
I had Aladdin for the Sega. Loved that game. Crash
So
Bandicoot.
there you go.
Loved those games, plural.
And this one like really is like leaves like a good feeling for me because it was in that era of it was still like in the era of going to rent games.
Oh, yeah.
And so I remember renting it and just like trying my best to get as far as I could before we had to return it. There's just so many good moments in renting video games
Oh,
for the
absolutely.
weekend.
I also forgot to mention
yeah.
in the kid category, back to that question for a quick second, I played a lot. As the amount of Spiral I played
Oh,
I
okay. That's a
kid you
game I
not.
wanted to
I
play.
cannot. Hold on.
Couldn't.
Which one did I? There's one of them that I played so much it's actually insane. It was the original one, Spiral the Dragon. I played that so god dang much it wasn't okay. Like the amount of times I beat that as a child, like successfully even. Like it was hard, and my older cousins would have to help me with some of the harder later levels, but I beat that game multiple times as a child. Dude, I loved
I
Spiral.
I just remembered a platformer that I can't believe I ever forgot about because I played it so much and it was so short because it was the first one. But Naruto had a platformer for the Game Boy Advance
Yeah.
called Naruto Ninja Council, I think it was.
Like, which game do you think has the biggest cultural impact overall? I have a list that I did not prepare, but when I reread the question, I instantly had a few games pop into my mind. The answers are Elder Scrolls Oblivion, the original Doom, Mario 64, oh, GoldenEye, Halo, even though I didn't play it. I think those five.
I definitely agree with Halo, Mario
If you
64,
don't
and there
say
was one
Doom, I'm
more.
gonna beat you up.
What it was
So to
too.
say Doom encouraged
There
like
was like
all shooting
'cause-
games ever to exist.
yeah, and then there was two that I just
GoldenEye.
I know GoldenEye, but I don't know that much about it.
Then Skyrim
I'm
Oblivion
trying.
was like teaching people how to do dialogue trees and skill leveling is why it's important.
Oh, that's the one. Like I really don't
I
know
said
much
Skyrim,
about.
Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Yeah, I don't know much about Elder Scrolls Oblivion, so it's like I can't speak too much to that. But I mean, when it comes to like Halo, yeah, that's a huge cultural impact.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's. I mean, like I know Call of Duty is pretty
It's like middle.
cut and paste,
Yeah, because like people either
but
universally pan or love that game. Like, because like I don't know, like I'll
yeah,
always play Call of Duty. There's only been a few I didn't like.
right. Halo, I mean, it had an like absolutely like
Ungodly
crazy
run.
following.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that game was just owning in the
it was
marketplace, quite
bananas.
honestly. And I just remember like hearing people talk about Halo, Halo this, Halo that. I'm like, well, what the hell is Halo? Then
Oh,
I did
Smash
play
Bros is
it.
the other one I wanted to throw in that list.
Oh, Smash Bros. For sure, for sure. We'll get to that in just a moment. Halo, hearing people talk about Halo, I mean, I feel bad because I could not get into Halo. I played it. I'm like, this game is eh. I don't know if it was like I don't know, maybe because I never spent time in a lobby, in a Halo lobby,
Yeah.
that I couldn't quite appreciate it then. But I mean, I feel like Halo. I I, I mean,
Yeah, I didn't like the
there's
story
there's
mode
got to
whenever
be
I
a
played it. I would go over to friends' houses who had it, and like I liked playing the multiplayer with them, and we'd even put on bots, and like that was fun. But then like Josh had it, my neighbor growing up that and like
mhm,
you know we would play the story, and it's just like I feel like okay,
right. And I do feel like there are a lot of games that have kind of like taken inspiration from Halo,
oh yeah, oh yeah,
right? So I definitely like that is a big has a big cultural impact. Super Smash Bros. As well.
mm-hmm.
I mean,
I mean, you
you
just
know
look at the
that
tournaments alone.
exactly like the community that was formed through Smash Bros. Is
Well, Halo
incredible.
falls in that
It
category too.
is.
Those are like the two biggest
Yep.
LAN tournament games of like history, of how your game preferences change over time. Mine, I would say yes and no. Nothing's ever like fallen out for me. I mean, they
Hmm.
definitely things I play less, but I don't think I've ever stopped liking a style of game. I can still play platformers. I can still play goofy little click and plays if they have a good narrative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love RPGs. I love shooters. I mean, I love story based games, and I love games that are exclusively multiplayer. Like, it's just how it is. Like, I genuinely don't think there's a type of game other than I'm fine with flash game click and plays. Like I highly suggest everyone check out a playthrough because good luck physically finding this game unless you have like a really good emulator that can run fake PC disc. But Khalil, look up Discworld 2 is the name of the game, and you can play it on PC or PlayStation 1. Discworld 2 is so freaking funny that you can play a click and play without noticing you're playing a click and play because how good the narrative is. But then I hate, there's actually, as I was saying this, it's because I'm preferencing it with that because that's a click and play narrative. There is one game style I hate, and I don't know the technicality for the name of this, so I'm going to look up this specific game I always think of when I talk about this and see what they classify it as. Okay, they classify it as an action-adventure video game, which is just straight up not true. Oh, it's called interactive films. That's the category. Heavy Rain is the most overrated game of all effing time.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Like Until Dawn is one of those two.
Most overrated game of all time is Heavy Rain. I don't care who you are. It got a 9 out of 10 on Steam and IGN. Go eat a whole one. That game sucks. I don't get the only good thing about Heavy Rain is that glitch where you can continuously shout your son's name at the very end. Like you can break the game just by repetitively hitting X or circle, whichever button. He's just like,
that's not possible. I'm going to have to kill you both. I'm sorry.
Did you get to play it?
Yeah, I own it.
I didn't know
I have it for the PS3. It's ass. My dad loved it, and I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. And then I remember I'm a big Borderlands 1 and 2 person. 3 is okay. Like, okay is giving it a lot of credit. But, like, Borderlands 1 and 2 are so goated. And then there's that Borderlands, like, the prequel or whatever, the Handsome Edition, and it's a freaking narrative game like this. It's like a film interactive game. It's so stupid. Why would I ever want to play that for Borderlands, bro? The game's a freaking collector, treasure hunting shooter.
Right.
What? So yeah, no, what they describe as interactive film games, I get the fuck out of here.
I don't think that they're my gaming preference has changed all too much. There's nothing that has like fallen out for me. With that being said, I really enjoy a game that has a really good narrative and really good combat.
I'm all about narrative. I'm not a Souls person. You love Dark Souls and Sekiro. And, like, don't get me wrong, I'll play Dark Souls. I have it for the PS3. But, like, I had that new one, Elden Ring. Oh, my God, I couldn't get into it, dude. And I like combat games, but I couldn't get into Elden Ring.
I need to play Elden Ring, and I really want to.
I'm sure if I
haven't made that commitment.
Down again and tried it
like
long term.
Sekiro, love Sekiro. That game had such a good narrative. And, like,
I think that's what the Elden Ring is missing is the narrative is so vague because it's a Souls game.
Yeah.
And like
you know
Sekiro
what?
I probably would enjoy.
I do know in Elden Ring there's like a lot of stuff for the story that you
can just straight up
you
miss.
Are probably going to miss.
Yeah.
You're going to
not
miss
for
it.
me, man.
Whereas Sekiro, it was pretty straightforward. There were some things that you could miss, but I mean, the map, it's like the areas in which you can go was not as vast at all as Elden Ring. So it's like Sekiro had that where you can just go in, you're like, oh, what's over here? It's like, okay, I did that. It only took like an extra 5 minutes, not an extra 2 hours to go see what's over here. But then the combat was just really good. I love great combat. Ghost of Tsushima, love that game. Great narrative, great combat. Give me that. I love that.
BioShock is a great game.
Narrative, great combat. Love it so much. It's sometimes even just something that I can just mindlessly play, like you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I honestly was actually going to say that myself. Is like sometimes I like simple games. Like you need a relaxing game. Yu-Gi-Oh can be a little not relaxing, but like sometimes you just need to turn something on just to do nothing.
Overall, I really enjoy combat. So. Like Tekken, love Tekken.
I was a bigger Mortal Kombat person, but I do love Tekken. I was a King guy.
Of course you were.
That's just because you can't beat King.
I hate King. Everyone hates King.
No,
Okay?
you do because you
Everyone.
lose to them.
If you do not play King, you hate King.
I don't know about
and
it.
there's reasons why. But anyway, I'm not gonna get into that because I will have this argument with you, Austin.
I will bust anyone's ass with King in Tekken. I'll bust anyone's ass with Reptile in Mortal Kombat. I'll bust your ass with Bardock in Dragon Ball Z.
Bardock is a good one. There's this game though that is multiplayer with great combat as well that I played for a while.
For Honor.
For Honor, I played For Honor for a long time. They changed the pacing of the game, and I couldn't get back into it. Like the pacing used to be a lot slower, and it felt like you could really enjoy it and do some really cool stuff. Now it's just like it's too fast, and you just get poked every time.
Completely unrelated. Remember how at one time people thought Battlefield was going to be a competitor for Call of Duty? Yes. It was for like one game.
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun for one game. Yeah.
Yep.
No, quite literally fun for one game. And then after that, I was like, I'll never play another Battlefield.
Exactly. I will say random in here. We haven't talked about a genre that I'm going to bring up super quick before we move on to the next question, which is simulators. I love simulators. Whether it's Farming Simulator, whether it's like Roller Coaster Tycoon, whether you're stocking shelves as a supermarket manager. Those are the type of games that I can turn my brain off and have like low risk, high reward.
I guess I haven't really tried a simulator.
They're so fun. I mean, there's crazy ones out there like Goat Simulator, which I loved. I have the like crazy edition of that game.
Oh God, Austin, we totally blanked on a game that like that was so important in our teenage years, and I can't believe we forgot this game. Skate 3.
Well, yeah, but that's like falls in with like Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
I know they're different, but like Skate 3, yeah, you and I put an insane amount of hours into, and I actually still play Skate 3. I have my PS3. I set up every now and then. And I play Skate 3. So I mean, yeah, no, that one's huge and influential because we both skated. So yeah, no doubt that was massively influential.
Oh yeah, what's our next question?
The one about like we already just answered this. Are there old games that you still revisit? Yes. Do they hold up?
Yes, all the time.
There's very few games that don't actually hold up if you're willing to revisit them.
I have one here. It's not as old, but Sleeping Dogs. I have beaten this game 4 times. I love this game.
Mine
I go
would
back
probably be Need
and
for
just play
Speed
this.
Most Wanted.
Really?
I play that one a lot whenever I break out the PS2. Obviously, the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, any of those. But like when it comes to like, yeah, Need for Speed 2, and I mean Need for Speed Most Wanted, I do a lot. Ratchet and Clank, Up Your Arsenal.
Sometimes I just have a hankering to play an old game,
Yeah.
and I'll just set it up and just have so much fun.
100%. I really want to talk about this next question. What specific in-game moment has stuck with you in life? Here's a few for everyone. For sure, one moment that I'll never forget, and it's like rent-free in my head, is if you know what I'm talking about, I don't need to describe it too much, but like the mission from Modern Warfare 2 in Terminal. That sticks with me in horrific ways. Love that.
Yeah, because it's awful.
It's so bad, but it sticks with me, my man. The taking home a prostitute in San Andreas. The part in Resistance Fall of Man when Hale gets turned into a chimera. And then also, I would say Tony Hawk Underground 2, when you have to push around a kid that's completely in a full body cast, and you push him around on a stretcher and have to do tricks with him. Destroy All Humans, when you have to body swap with the president and give a press conference that you can fail, and if you fail it, they're like, he's an alien, and they kill you on the spot.
Oh my God.
I think those are the moments that stick with me the most. Oh, and when in Ratchet and Clank, when Ratchet meets his icon, the is it Quark? Yeah, Quark. When he meets Quark and realizes the dude's actually a real life loser, that's a pretty good moment for me.
See, I wish I would have seen this question earlier, so that because like I feel like I'm having visions of some of the things that really stuck with me, and I'm having a hard time like clearing the fog.
Oh, playing Steve-O in Madden NFL 2K5. The fact that you play against Steve-O, Snoop Dogg, Carmen Electra, not Jamie Foxx, The dude whoever did the really really crappy prank show, doesn't matter. But playing Steve-O is for sure one of them too.
Um, I do know in Sleeping Dogs, losing your best friend, that stuck with me. Um, let's see, there's some other ones from like PlayStation 3 days that really stuck with me. Okay, here's a bit of a nerdy one. Playing Assassin's Creed 3, I already knew what Assassin's Creed was about. Templars, assassins. The very beginning of that game, when you like realize that the main character's father was a Templar, that blew my mind. I remember that one. That was crazy to me. I was like, what? I was like, are we playing Templars in this game? One that's like it was infamous. Um, I think having there's two things in Infamous. There was like the love interest dying, and then like the best friend like betraying
Mm-hmm.
the main character. And then in Ghost of Tsushima, um, being imprisoned by his uncle, and then like having his horse die. I don't know why, but those just stuck with me. The horse dying was really sad.
Yeah.
Was there anything else? There's a lot that I'm just like trying to get a clear image of in my head. Um, yeah, yeah. There, those. I've never really thought about that question before this. Things that stuck with me from video games.
I actually asked my dad this the other day, not even before I wrote these questions, which is what made me think of that question. And he had like two answers. I can't remember the second one, but his like the one that like he instantly could recall without fail. He's just like the fact that you die in Dead Space, because he loved the Dead Space games, and he's like the fact that you play through them and then you just straight up die. He's like, I'll never forget that moment.
Well, I guess quick side notes. Like one thing that stuck with me is like watching my uncle play a Spider-Man game on N64 back in the day. I remember just like watching him climb up a building that's like blowing up, and I just like thought that was the coolest thing to see.
Yeah.
So
I already answered this one. Is there a critically acclaimed game you did not enjoy? Mine was Heavy Rain, 100%. Also Halo's story, like I already said. So those would be like probably my two.
yeah, I don't know if I feel like there is, but I honestly
Yeah,
can't
no, it's
think
like a
of what
harder
it
one
would
because
be
you'd
right
have to
now.
like, unless you hated it with all your heart, you're not going to sit there and remember it. Anyway, multiplayer.
Are there multiplayer or co-op
The answer is
games
yes.
that shaped your relationship with others?
Yeah,
Yes.
Khalil and I have
I
online
definitely think
friends.
so.
I mean, that's so not uncommon anymore. Like, if we would have asked ourselves this question, like, 8 years ago, I think we would have, been breaking ground, be like, yeah, we have real friends that we don't know them in real life because they live in other states, but we've talked to them so much. Like, 8 years ago, that'd be big. But now it's like, that's so casual.
Yeah.
It's so
it's very
casual. And then, like, yeah, favorite. I think the next question is the one we should, like, focus on, and then we can jump to the last couple to, like, end this off. But the idea of what's your favorite gaming memory with friends or family, I can answer this for multiple people. With my mom, it's her picking. Is it Natalia or something with an N or T? Tina, I think. Tina, a Tekken character. Khalil. What's the blonde chick?
Nina.
Nina. My mom
Nina.
kicking my ass, never letting her child win in Tekken. I think like 2 or 4 growing up.
Listen, that sounds like a Nina player. All right.
And then with my dad, there's kind of a couple. One would be watching him play Command and Conquer because that got me into that style of game. But more or less with him, probably the fact of, I kid you not, friends that are listening, my dad used to tape cardboard to our TV in our living room to make sure I wouldn't screen peek him in Call of Duty. Because eventually I got good enough to beat him, and I would make sure to like really insult him by beating him by a lot by screen peeking. He was still good. Like, he could still beat me. It's not like I went undefeated or anything. But yeah, he used to literally tape a massive piece of cardboard and have me sit under it, so that way I couldn't screen peek because I would get pissed if he was winning, and I would start doing that. But it was when I started to be able to beat him on my own. That's
so
that's
funny.
real.
Oh
that
my
actually
gosh.
happened. With my cousin Brandon, it's playing Attack of the Monsters. Like I said earlier, we would just. Actually, no, Brandon is probably playing WWF Friday Night SmackDown and using characters that we created to throw each other off the Hell in the
Yeah.
Cell map. Literally, just like we wouldn't even finish the game. We would just climb back up, throw each other off, and then giggle till we almost pissed our pants as children. Like straight
So
up.
funny.
Yeah.
I think so. One for me was playing with siblings and cousins, playing like Super Smash Bros. Melee,
Yeah.
and not realizing, like, not knowing how you unlocked characters, and you're just like playing through the night, and then all
You'd
of a sudden
have
it's
somebody.
like new challenger. Yup, and like it would just get so hyped, and we like whoever won, like everybody would get quiet and
Oh,
watch
so
as that
good.
person. Oh my god, it was so great. Another one is just like being up late playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai,
Yep.
and just like learning how to do something new, especially in Tenkaichi, because that game is so like extensive, um, and just like doing the funniest things that we could think of as well, just to mess with each other.
Yep. No, absolutely.
A lot. Also, like going into teenage years, playing on PlayStation 3 and being able to play with your actual
Yeah.
friends, not in the same room. That was that.
Yeah, you and
I
I didn't
just
start
remember,
gaming
like,
with each other until much later.
Yeah, and I remember like playing Kino back in the day, having like any Bluetooth device that we could
Yep.
find with a really
Ryan,
terrible
Nick,
quality.
UI. Like,
Yep.
gosh. I
Good
think with
times.
you, I have like a small list of just random awesome things. Like, we still play Call of Duty together. We played Apex and got high ranked together. But I think like, honestly, for you and I, it'd be the times we played silly games in person, like when we were playing Family Guy, we were
Yes.
playing Laser Shoot Larry.
These-
Just
Yep.
like goofy stuff like that would be my favorite memories with you while gaming. No doubt. It's about pissed ourselves on Leisure Suit Larry multiple times.
You're a Gentile.
Just stuff outrageous, man.
I was thinking about that one earlier today.
It's
That's
so silly, but so funny. I've played other ones since because I was curious. But like, yeah, just goofy stuff like that for sure makes the top of the memory with you.
Yeah.
I think I want to ask actually about like a question that's not on here, which is like, are you looking forward to the future of gaming? Because like it's gonna be so expensive. I don't mean like GTA 6, like rumored to be dropping for $100 base model, so that means pre-order value bundle pack will be like almost $200. I mean like, VR games are here, and when we were a kid, that seemed so foreign. But now you can play VR Skyrim now, and like they're getting good. Like there's this one game that makes me want to buy an Oculus, and I don't know the name of it, but like they have a UI trained, and I get some of it is AI, but it's not AI that's stealing art from artists. It's AI that's trained to listen to you talk to it in a way that like you play this wizard, and one of your assistants is like a talking skull that like if he pisses you off, you can throw him out of the window of the castle. And I've watched clips of people do this to him when he's being sassy, and you like hear him talking shit as he's flying out the window to you. Like, you can't handle the
That's
truth when
right.
I give it to you. Like all this like that's cool, man. And the fact that you play Skyrim VR is cool to me, and like I'm excited for it, but I'm also like, man, where do we go? Are people actually going to have those game pads in their living room? Are we going to get like to level player one status where you're like playing Call of Duty and it feels like real? Like,
Well, see, and I was gonna bring up like Sword Art Online type.
yeah,
thing.
that's what I'm saying.
I
Is
mean,
like, I think I am and I'm not. Like, I don't think I'll be able to afford that type of stuff. But I think like when it becomes accessible, especially like the type of VR game I was just describing, where it's like it creates an actual interactive UI where, you know, there's not just a skill tree of dialogue where there's 8 options and 4 of them are known and the other ones are hidden and you have to do stuff to unlock it. No, like I want to be able to say real things and it respond.
Yeah, I am and I'm not. I am because I think that like there's a lot of creative people out there and they can make really great things. The issue is that we have companies that are out for the profit motive,
Yeah.
and things suck.
Yeah.
Right. Like they keep making like someone else's thing just their kind of their
Mm-hmm.
own. Microtransactions are
That is the
honestly
worst.
really annoying.
Freemium games.
You're getting games that aren't finished because they want to drop DLC for it.
Yep.
Right? And that's going to continue for a little while longer until
Yeah,
people are
the
fed up
gaming
with
industry needs to hit a bubble bust. Like it's
Yes.
getting close to it. It feels like with the increased prices of games, and exactly what you said. When they drop a new game, it feels unfinished and it's 100 gigs, and you're like, why am I downloading this much space and there's still this many bugs? Like Baldur's Gate broke
Yep.
the mold, and people are pissed at it inside the gaming industry, which is also kind of fake. Like I get that was a lot of like scapegoatism and the fans making a narrative that might have not been as there as much as it really was, but still, I mean that there's a lot going on, but. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the technology. I'm not looking forward to microtransactions and all that stuff, like you said, for sure. But
Yep.
yeah, hey, friends, thanks for playing. Press start, save your files. Let us know what your favorite games are.
Boop, boop, boop.
Other than that, up,
Please
up,
do.
down, down, left, right, A start, B. Or no, A, B start. So with that, see you next time.
Ciao, everybody.